welcome our special guests, Dr. Keith Smithson, an optometrist practicing at Northern Virginia Doctors of Optometry in the Washington, D.C. area, and from Chambéry, France, Didier Rosset from Rosset Opticians. And then with him is Laurent Dosseville, Transitions Director of Commercial Sales, EMEA, who is here to help with the translation. Thank God.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. See you, Dr. Smithson. Woohoo! Woo! Welcome, welcome. You know, Laurent and Didier, I would love to start with you because I think we're all excited to hear this story of Olympic swimmer Johan Dosseville. And in fact, I believe perhaps you've brought a video we could take a look at?
Yeah, I think best is probably to start with the video so that you understand the background.
Perfect.
Alors, je m'appelle Johan Dosseville, j'ai 21 ans, je fais de la natation de haut niveau et j'ai été champion d'Europe cet été sur le 200 mètres d'eau. En fait, ça a commencé par des problèmes de vue, on va dire. Je me rendais compte que je voyais de moins en moins bien. Ça ne m'alertait pas plus que ça, jusqu'au jour où aux Jeux Olympiques, je me suis fait disqualifier car j'ai pas vu la ligne des drapeaux qui me signale que je vais arriver au mur et du coup j'ai heurté le mur. Et à partir de ce moment-là, je me suis dit quand même qu'il fallait qu'on règle ça parce que je me retrouvais ébloui par les spots au-dessus du bassin. Donc j'en ai parlé à plusieurs spécialistes, dont du coup mon opticien. On a accéléré un peu les choses, j'ai refait des tests pour voir s'il y avait vraiment un problème à cette cornée. On a vu que j'avais un kératocone évolutif. Donc voilà, la cornée ça a une forme assez ronde et on va dire que la mienne a plus une forme d'un ballon de rugby. Ce qui fait que je suis plus gêné par la lumière, je suis plus ébloui facilement. Quand je conduis la nuit, voilà, les phares des voitures en face peuvent m'éblouir plus facilement. J'ai dû faire une petite intervention juste pour arrêter la déformation de ma cornée. Et une fois qu'on a fait ça, on a trouvé un moyen avec des lunettes de voir mieux.
Man, incredible.
Didier, what a story. So he came to see you, his optician, and then what happened next?
Malgré son opération du kératocone avant les Jeux Olympiques, suite à une baisse d'acuité visuelle, ses besoins devaient être pris en compte. Il était gêné par l'éblouissement, le soleil, les lumières artificielles. Ce n'était pas seulement son acuité qui était en cause. Le problème était au-delà de la correction. C'était sa capacité à gérer la lumière.
Je ne parle pas français, so...
So I was going to say, were you getting all of that?
Let me translate. So basically, despite his keratoconus surgery prior to the Olympic Games, basically he still had visual needs that were to be addressed. And it was not just a question of visual acuity, it was also a need for light management, and basically his issue was beyond simple refractive correction. So from there, basically we worked together to develop a pair of prescription swimming goggles with transitions extractive lenses. And the results are clear.
Wow.
So this is a goggle, unique. You have transitions extractive lens built in, and it's a very good job made by Didier to put that together. And the results are really clear in terms of performance, because since he has won gold,
Whoa.
right there.
You see the medals?
Are these the real medals?
The real medals.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Silver.
Beautiful.
Bronze in the Europe Championship. But I think beside the impressive part of the custom-made goggles made by Didier, as you can see, Johan is also using transitions extractive in his daily life. And this is amazing as well, because, you know, swimmers are spending probably about 4 hours per day swimming for training. But besides that, they are also doing in the weight room for an intensive training. And part of what is needed for their performance is to develop a quality of vision that will help them to develop a quality of body development. And in the case of Johan, with the better vision, he succeeded to develop a better posture, which basically resulted into a better balance between the strength of the left side and the right side, so that at the end, he had a balanced body, and it's really key for backstroke swimmers. So, and of course, transitions extractive helped him in the water, to build strong benefits and also in light management and to build self-confidence, but also add a true impact on his performance.
Incredible.
That's amazing.
Absolutely.
On top of that, because when you see a young guy like him, very successful,
yes,
and we have been so impressed at transitions by Johan, so his maturity, his perseverance, all this behavior that we have been very sensitive to. So basically we decided to bring basically our joint story to the next level. And basically we are proud that to be part of the official sponsors, along with Nike, Arena, and also through his next Olympic experience for Paris. Of course, Paris, 2024.
Wow. I've worked with a lot of athletes in my year. How many of these exist in the world? This is incredible. How many of these exist?
Just the one. We have it right here. You better give that back. Yeah.
And how long did it take to create it? How long did it take to create it?
3 months.
3 months.
3 months to make the only one in the world which is on this table.
Really cool.
Amazing.
Love it.
Incredible.
Okay.
Well, Johan certainly sounds like an incredible athlete, you know, and it's great that transitions could help him. Now, Dr. Smithson, you just said that you also have experience with professional athletes. Could you tell us a little more about that?
Yeah, Jacob. I mean, I have a great opportunity and privilege to work with multiple professional sports teams. I actually work with essentially every professional sports team in the Washington, D.C. area. So I get a chance to work with football, hockey, basketball, soccer, baseball, lots of athletes, and learning from them is something that I think helps me relate to my everyday patient. So one of the things that I think the gentleman brought up here is just how important it is to talk about overall vision. And vision means so much more than turning dials and making a prescription. So a lot of things that I learn get from spring training in baseball. I come down here every year. I see about 200 athletes in our baseball system, which is a lot of athletes. And so we're talking to them about their visual needs. And a lot of times it's more than just the clarity that they get from their lenses. They have challenges in different lighting conditions. So light management, I heard that word, I mean, it echoes with me as well. I think that's something that's really critical to us when talking to the patients that we see every day that maybe are athletes or our general everyday patients, is that they are bothered by light. And having that conversation about it's more than just prescription, and light management can be really, really critical to changing their lives and helping them with their performance. A lot of that I take with me every day.
That makes sense.
Yeah. I have a question. Do you work with athletes that have injuries?
Yeah, so Miriam, that's a great question. I think that's an awesome opportunity for us. I listened to the first panel talking about life changing and making an impact on lives. And I think one of the huge opportunities for our profession is our opportunity for optometry's role in concussion management and dealing with injury. One thing working with multiple teams is that you have to interact with concussion. It's a word that comes to find us as optometrists, and we have to be ready to deal with it. So for me, light management can be a huge part of them recovering from their injury as well. So when you have athletes or everyday patients that come in with concussion-like symptoms or maybe referred to you with a concussion, you have the unique opportunity through light management to change their lives tomorrow. And I've had situations like that where their only residual symptom after they've recovered through physical therapy and other therapies is light sensitivity. So being able to change their lives and get them back into their everyday life, maybe back onto their field of play, but certainly back into their everyday life is something that's hugely empowering and something our profession holds near and dear. So take advantage of that. I think it's a great opportunity.
Wow, that's incredible. Well, thank you, Dr. Smithson.
Yes, one quick question, because I saw the picture there with a ring. What is this?
So I learned this recently. Apparently overseas, rings, championship rings, are not a big thing. It's medals, right? Yeah. So apparently in this country, my wife tells me several times that it's nice to get shiny things. Is that true?
Yes, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Yes, I attest it is.
So in this case, I would certainly have to say shiny things are very nice. That was my World Championship ring with the Washington Nationals in 2019. It's one of my 5 championship rings that I have so far, and it's an opportunity. It's a blessing, and happy to be part of it. So it's fun.
Next time, please.
Yeah, I'll bring it next time.
Yeah, next time. You got to bring the rings, right?
You got it.
Well, thank you, Dr. Smithson, and thank you, Laurent and Didier. You know, those are both incredibly inspiring stories. But now, perhaps, how would you then relate to patients who are not so elite and may not be professionals?
Transition améliore les performances visuelles. Nous considérons que nous devons proposer à tous, qu'ils soient hémétropes ou porteurs occasionnels, nous essayons de faire en sorte que les accompagnants entrent dans notre parcours transition. Cela nous permet de recommander un verre qui peut apporter une amélioration visuelle à tous, dans leur quotidien, à l'intérieur à l'extérieur et dans leur activité de loisirs, sans oublier les nouveaux modes de transport urbains tels que le vélo ou la trottinette.
Did you get it this time?
Totally get it.
I think we got all of that. Yes, everyone?
Yep.
So, to make it short, he says it helps a lot.
That's what I picked up, for sure.
Thank you.
So, more seriously, so we'll try to translate what Didier said. So, transitions is improving visual performances, and we consider then that everyone should benefit from transitions lenses. Prescription wearers, but also non-prescription wearers could enter into our transitions consumer journey. Basically, that allows us to recommend a lens that could provide visual improvement to everyone for their daily life, indoors and outdoors, and also for their leisure activities. Not to mention the urban trend, you know, the crazy trend of scootering, biking in the cities, so that is currently evolving post-COVID, and that helps people to commute.
And then, Dr. Smithson, what about you?
Yeah, I mean, I again completely echo the colleagues' comments here. Is that, you know, I think what we learn from sport, and again, our opportunities to work with sport is simply helpful in our ability to relate to our everyday patients. So, you know, Nike used to have a tagline that they used years ago that everyone with a body is an athlete, right? So,
I like that.
for me, it's about maximizing performance and visual performance, right? So, for every patient we see, for every athlete we see, from an athlete standpoint, I could be dealing with a 10-year-old soccer player, a 65-year-old golfer, tennis player, or a 16-year-old baseball player. But I want to maximize their vision and give them the opportunity to be successful, just like the patient that I have driving home on an 8-lane highway or dealing with multiple computer screens wants to have their day maximized. So for me, one of my true passions in everyday life, but truly in practice as well, is youth sport and the things that we can do to help youth be successful in sport. You know, I truly believe that there are life lessons that we all learn from playing sports as youth. I think we learn how to be a part of a team, how to work hard, how to not give up. And the one thing I've seen from coaching youth sports, being around youth sports, and obviously working with patients who play youth sports, is that when you're not successful in the sport, you don't play anymore, you give it up. And to me, that's a crime, because you lose those life lessons that would have come along from playing the sport. So again, we're empowered to be able to change their lives, help them be successful by having that first pair of sports glasses, something they can see the ball better with. And again, the first panel talked about the next generation and engaging these kids with an ability to see clearer and better than they've ever seen before. So why wouldn't we have them use photochromic lenses and transitions technology to change their life at a youth level? Why wouldn't they continue to use that forever? So I think that's, again, a huge opportunity for us. And, you know, I have a website called sportsvisionpros.com, which is a global resource really designed around making the connection between sports and vision for everyone, for athletes, for parents, for coaches, for trainers, and for our colleagues. So if you're not familiar or know much about the sports performance angle, there's so much to learn, there's so much technology, but I think Transitions holds a huge opportunity in changing lives at the youth level and all the way up through our professional athletes as well.
Absolutely. So you're dealing with all types of people, all types of athletes. Now, is there any particular type of language that you specifically use?
Yeah, so Jacob, I think that's a really great point. I think we've heard the word transitions, right? All of us in this room for a long, long time. So I think changing the narrative is really something that's important. And it has to start with the language we have with our patients, the dialogue of where their problems are. We always have a patient come in with a chief complaint list, right? So one of the things that I've learned is not using the word light sensitive. You know, we know through studies that light sensitive, people tend to say no about being light sensitive, but the words bothered by light can be really powerful.
I see. Yeah.
And which of us are not bothered by light, right? So not just being a professional athlete, but being under fluorescent lights at work, sitting on your device all day long, going to the gym before work, going out to soccer practice with your kid after work. Those are all varied lighting conditions, and they're very dynamic. So I love the word dynamic, I use that a lot, and I tell them that we have technologies now that have dynamic light management, that are light adaptive lenses. I can tell them it's sort of like installing a dimmer switch for them. So I can keep them comfortable in all lighting conditions all the time. So with that kind of narrative, why would you not want a transitions lens? What's the benefit of having a clear lens when you can have a lens that's light adaptive, dynamic, and has light management capabilities, right? So, you know, another opportunity for me, I used to always remember the tagline that, you know, transitions lenses are not the substitute for a sunglass. They're a substitute for a clear glass. What's the benefit for having a clear glass? If you can have a lens that's light adapting for your dynamic lifestyle, why would all of our patients not want transitions lenses?
I'm so moved, yes.
I love all those buzzwords.
Yeah, I feel like this could have been your TED Talk, honestly.
I know. Do you want to take the stage?
I mean, thank you for kicking off the show with such an inspirational session.